is. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Genius Conference presented by the African American Writers Alliance in partnership with Langston Seattle. We're here in Seattle today for this two-day writers conference that celebrates writers from the African diaspora, as well as our theme this year of literacy. We have workshops going on. We have food here. We have vendors. We also have performances at the end today at 8 p.m. Right now, yes, there's an after party from 6 to 8. So right now, I just want to let you know that we are here with Dr. Traci Harrell, and we are going to be doing a workshop called, this is the first time, by the way, as I said, for this inaugural conference, and we're happy to have Dr. Traci, who's a member of the African American Alliance here. This is how to become a genius with the living powerful experience. Dr. Traci is, you might know her because is this your live stream, right? She's an international best-selling author, as you know, if you haven't been following her, with over 25 years of corporate and leadership experience. Today's workshop, Dr. Traci is going to tell us about the living powerful experience within ourselves. I'm going to give the rest of the time, thank you, once again, it's Mary Ann. I'm going to give the rest of the time to Dr. Traci, and thank you to our guests who are going to be joining Dr. Traci in this discussion.
Thank you. Can you keep it on?
Yes, let's do that.
So you all know the work that I'm doing, and this session is actually sponsored by the National Black MBA Association, the Seattle chapter. And I have been the immediate past president of the Seattle chapter, but I've been part of the Black MBA for over 25 years. And what I love about it is they were founded based on the principles of economic and intellectual empowerment. So the concept of intellectual empowerment it's who I am, part of my DNA. And so I'm excited today to talk about who we are. And we've been leading a series called Getting Better Together. So as you know, it's not about me. Our company is called It's All Bigger Than Me. It's just so much bigger than me when it comes to how do we get better together, like getting healthier, happier, wealthier, and wiser. That's the work that we're doing. And I call it the living powerful experience because it combines about 7 different formal technologies, right? Tech methodologies. It's scientific. So one of my favorites is called positive intelligence. It's one of 7, but it's really, really good. It's foundational. It asks you to take something called a saboteur assessment, like what's holding you back. We don't have a whole lot of time today. So this is going to be about hearing their voices, bringing in what they would hope to accomplish. And then we're going to talk about why it's better that we do this together. How do we show up differently? I'm also a coach. I'm a certified success coach with Success Magazine. I'm a certified transformational coach. And so 25 years of experience in the corporate space, 8 years at IBM, 14 years at Disney, 5 years at Microsoft. And the work I've been doing now as a consultant is around leadership. It's around mindset. It is around technology. And the beautiful part is I've also brought in the spirits. Good. Right? Yeah. And so when you saw this session listed in the Genius Conference, and that mic should be hot. Tell us who you are. There you go. Tell us who you are and what got you excited. I'm not start with her and I'm gonna come back to you. What got you excited?
My name is Tamika Trump. I came to the conference with an intention to learn how to be my authentic self wherever I'm at work. I do theater, like personal career, and also building my legacy. And I know I need to step in my courage to do so. So I'm just in my power phase of learning how to be myself and show up everywhere, and you'll get the same Tamika.
I love it. I love it. When someone says they want to be their authentic self, what she means is, a lot of that is the masks. You've had to put on some masks, right? There's been some times where she felt like she couldn't put her true self out there. She couldn't step into your power. We're gonna talk about living power. Yeah. Okay. So that's part of what we're gonna do. Now, what got you excited about this topic, this title of the living powerful experience? And ma'am, if you want to be a part of this conversation, feel free to come up in the back. Beautiful. Just saying. Keep going. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, first, my name is Nina, and I was drawn to this particular workshop because I've been struggling with psychiatric conditions, like hardcore psychiatric conditions. And the last few years, it's been really hard to tap into that source, that to bring the spirits in and be a vessel, and just, my creativity is just really shut down. So when I read the description for this, I was like, yeah, that's where I need to be. Yeah, thank you for holding the space.
Thank you. And just to say, like I said, we got less than 40 minutes. 30, exactly, 33 to be exact. So what we're gonna be able to do is to lay a foundation. This is a process. Like as a transformational coach, what I like to tell people is it's a journey, but being in, that is the win. Being in is the win. Deciding that I want to show up for myself, that living powerfully is a priority for me, that each day I'm going to do one thing that's aligned with the goals that I choose. Each day I'm going to show up more courageously. If that's your thing, I'm going to show up. I'm going to tap into my creativity. I'm going to do a thing that will showcase who I am, the thing I want to be. I'm gonna transform at a DNA level. And again, that doesn't happen in one 30-minute session. But what I can tell you is, depends on where this goes. I'm intentional, but again, I could have a plan. We were gonna show some slides. Technology isn't working, so we just kind of pivoted. I got some volunteers that said that they want to bring their story forward. So let's give them a round of applause. First of all, yes, I'm willing to do this in this space. I'm willing to show up for community. Because you said, I said it's better when we do this together.
It is better. It is better because you can't do all this.
You can. You simply cannot, but you believe that it's possible. I think that's step one for me, is creating a space where you believe it's possible. Do you believe that your transformation, your best self is right there for you for the taking?
Well, yes. I mean,
As
we evolved, we evolved from where we came from. The last thing you remember, the first thing you came from, and you're still an adult. Like, if you can physically change, you can mentally spiritually. So is it possible? Of course it's possible, because we don't think the same way we did as children.
Right. Love it. I love it. I love it. And part of what this is, I'll let her bring this up a little bit. The living powerful experience. I like to share this little visual, right? It's a visual of an ocean. Someone riding the waves, right? Would you all see that as well, right? You're just riding the wave. When you see this visual, you say a picture's worth 1,000 words. This video, this is life, right? A wave. You can't stop the tides. And a wave in its most powerful form can actually take down an entire town, right? You got to see tsunamis, right? Take it out. So waves are going to come and they can be destructive. But this guy on the surfboard, guess what? He's decided, I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna ride it out. That's my definition of living powerfully. When the waves come, when the trials come, when the points in your life come where you feel like I can't live powerfully, I can't show up authentically, I'm gonna have to shrink down because someone doesn't want me to show up in my maximum brilliance, my full genius. This is how you live genius. You do it anyway. You say, you know what, I'm gonna get a tool, I'm gonna get the right tool, which in this case is surfboard, right? I'm gonna get a skill, someone's gonna show me how to pop up, to balance, to do the work. That's what we do in life. So the three things that we're gonna ask you to do is we're gonna have you identify some of the patterns in your life, some of the saboteurs, the beliefs that hold you back. And if the beliefs change, when those beliefs change, when your limiting beliefs change, when you decide, I see them, I see these patterns, I see these beliefs, I see these things that have held me back, I see these areas in my life where I'm not living powerful, I'm not living optimal. I see it, right? And what we get to do together is decide, you know what, this belief is not serving me. This limiting belief is not serving me. So what I'm going to choose to do differently is I'm going to choose the opposite, right? If someone told you that you weren't worthy, if someone told you that you're not creative, right? You're being blocked. That's not true. I'm in my most creative phase. Say it right now.
I am in the most creative phase.
Right? And the truth is, this concept of neuroscience and positive psychology, cognitive behavioral psychology, and performance science, this is all proven. So when we talk about the saboteurs, you can go to this website. It's called positiveintelligence.com. I'm certified. I actually took this master in positive intelligence space over 6 months, whole process. So what I love about this is you get to take a free saboteur assessment. So you identify the things in your life, the areas in your life Again, it's positiveintelligence.com. You identify the areas in your life where you're not having your maximum performance, not having your maximum well-being, when you make you stressed out, right? And then when you identify the saboteurs, you see them and you say, not now, like I'm a controller, a hyperachiever. I was doing too much, right? Controller, trying to control myself and other people. Here's something you can do for you. Who am I to tell you what to do for you, right? I can control my space and you let other people do their thing. Love it, right? So I think when you identify your saboteurs, you get to silence them. We say intercept the saboteurs, stop them in their tracks. You intercept your saboteurs and then you pause. So if you're ever too stressed, if you're feeling some negative energy, it doesn't even matter which saboteur. If you've never done the assessment, we've all done these life assessments, right? Like you know, when your strengths are, they all have strengths, but they also have weaknesses that take you down, that don't allow you to achieve your goal. So even if we don't have time to go do the saboteur assessment, identify what their saboteurs are, that's the next layer of the work. But you know there are times when you're just not at your best, right? When you're not feeling maximum, when you're feeling anxiety. Two things that we do when you're feeling anxiety. We call it, the saboteurs are the things that hold you back. The sage, you've got two sides of your brain. You can only be in a powerful state or a primal state. Primal is like fight or flight. Energy, right? Tightness, right? Shrinking, right? I'm not creative. It's all the knots, the negatives. That's the primal side of your brain. It's the survival side. The other side of your brain is the thrival side. We call it it's the powerful side, right? It's like living powerfully or living in a primal survival mode. Do I want to thrive or do I want to survive? Do I want to be primal or do I want to be powerful? These are actually choices. They're decisions. There's something that you actually want to do where you're like, decisions determine our destiny. Each moment you decide, this is not going to shut me down. This is not going to take me down. As a matter of fact, here's what you're going to think. We call it the sage perspective. Every situation can be turned into a gift or an opportunity. I want you to say it loud, like believe it. Say that every situation can be turned into a gift. Every situation can be turned into a gift or an opportunity. Can you say it like you mean it? Every situation can be turned into a gift. Say it loud. We're gonna all say it together as loud as we possibly can. So your brain is like, oh, they serious about this, but it's like, yeah, like making people think we're insane. Every it's slide, yeah, okay. You can read it. How about that? There's a lot here. We're gonna keep it simple. But it's basically every situation can be here, right? You can read it. Every outcome or circumstance. Every outcome or circumstance. We're gonna change it to situation because we're Black. Every situation. Anything that's happening. Every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. Let's say it loud like we said. Every situation can be turned into a gift or an opportunity. Do you believe? Do you believe?
No, yeah.
Did you really? So then we go in and we talk about what's the gift. The gift is, you probably heard of the term KPI. It can be the gift of knowledge, that's the K. The gift of power, a new perspective, that's the gift of I, the gift of new information, new inspiration, right? When something happens, even if it's perceived as bad, remember KPI. It's a gift of knowledge. I just learned something new. This is shenanigans. Clear. I got hit by a drunk driver. Suffered from PTSD. Whole situation. I didn't drive for an entire year. Every situation can be turned into a gift or an opportunity, right? We all get to decide, right? You were in a situation and you decided something different. The gift of perspective, the gift of power. I had to go through this thing. I'm better now than I ever was. I have a new perspective, right? I get to see it differently. The gift of inspiration. I'm from Florida. There's a lady whose daughter was killed by a drunk driver. Horrible experience. Every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity, really? What that lady did is she started an organization called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You know how many lives she saved? We showed up knowing that friends don't let friends drive drunk, right? Commercials, marketing, all the things, because her daughter, one child died. And that inspired her to say, I don't want any mother to ever have this experience. That was an opportunity. To decide, is that a bad thing gonna take me down? Or am I gonna let this thing by choice, because these are not decisions, become a gift and an opportunity, because it doesn't just happen. You also get to create the gift. So I do a program, right? I do a series of things. I brought in like 7 different modalities or 7 different certifications and processes and learnings, right? Content. But the key thing is, this is what I love about positive intelligence. 3 key elements. It's just a new belief. We call it just a new perspective. So if you chose that, every time something stressed you out, you say that, and then you have to, there's a physicality that happens. You also have to breathe it out. You can't just say it. You say it, and everybody breathes, just breathe in. Get 3 times, breathe in. Whatever that feels like to you, that's all. 3 slow breaths. Scientifically proven to move control back to your prefrontal cortex. So flight or fight, is that energy that your choices are survival style. When you breathe, it's beginning to move control back to your prefrontal cortex. You get to make decisions. Oh, I'm going to remember that every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity, right? They talk about 5 superpowers. There's actually 12 that I know of off the top of my head, but there's 5 that positive intelligence talks about, and they're fundamental, right? They talk about the power of empathy. You're going to empathize with yourself and others, whatever's happening. You know what? This person just cut me off, right? Maybe they had a bad day, whatever it is, but you're going to empathize with yourself, the other person, and the situation. There's the power that comes in that too. No judgment. When you do that saboteur assessment, there's 9 saboteurs, 9, they're called 9 accomplice saboteurs. But the number 1 saboteur is the judge. We judge ourselves, we judge other people, oftentimes in a negative way. What if you decided, I'm gonna set aside all judgment, and this is how I'm gonna live powerfully? Your genius cannot show up when you're in that survival mode. So when I say how to become a genius, just decide I'm a genius. And then make that decision. This is how I'm gonna show up every day. I'm gonna breathe when something is stressing me out. I'm gonna make decisions that align with what I say I want to do. Because again, we get to decide. We get to decide, yes? So what stresses you out the most? I'm not a therapist. Let me put that out there. I am not a therapist. Dr. Traci, my work is about showing up in communities. So to make sure we're clear, this is not a therapist. And the reason this is so important, and I love it, I have it, so don't get twisted. I'm just not saying that's the problem. I'm saying I'm not a therapist. What I love about therapy is, so there's so much I can share. I'm just talking off the top of my head. This is what I do, right? So think about 5. There's 5 primary drivers. How to become a genius, understand how your brain works. Understand that I get to choose living powerfully of choices that I get to make. So there's 5 primary drivers in the human condition that help you to live out. You know that your beliefs lead to all of your thoughts. People say thoughts become things. That's because they do. You manifest all the rest. But thoughts become things. That's not the beginning though. What you believe leads to your thoughts. What you think leads to your emotions. What you feel leads to your actions or your inactions, what you do or don't do. And it's those actions that lead to the results you want. So if you want to change your results, you can't just start with your thoughts. You can't just work on your feelings. That's nice. But you really got to dig deep. We talk about root cause analysis. What made you? What is why? And you might be like, okay, Traci, you understand how important this is, right? The beliefs and the whys, man. You understand how important this is. You just said understand the why.
Yeah. Well, but I'm an 80s baby, so I remember like the 7 W's.
5 whys.
Yeah, the 5 whys.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Who, what, when, where,
And how.
how, and then they added the why. Why?
Right. It's the most important. Start with the why and end with the why. Like the why is the most important thing. So when you think about your beliefs, what lead to your thoughts, your feelings, your actions or inactions, people forget that. And the results. That's why we do workout beliefs. Most of the times people need a coach. I'm gonna promote myself for a moment. I do this work in community for free. We're leading a series right now, and I mentioned the National Black MBA Association. We won a grant called the Racism in the Public Health Crisis. Remember that, the King County? We won one of those grants, and I presented this program. I'm like, this is how we change. This is how you change, no matter what's happening, no matter what racist systems that one might. I mean, racism isn't even part of the language that I use. Does it exist? Absolutely. I worked in the corporate space for 25 years, and nobody trying to be you know, doing work that is specifically around how to truly transform. Even though a lot of people said they wanted it. That's why I created this.
That's a challenge.
The challenge is you don't change systems, you have to change people. Like we say we want to change the system, but we are the system. So you're with me?
Yes.
So it's like, look at the mirror. So like, we got out the amen. We got out the amen. Like, we are the system. You get this generic and say, I want to change the system. You got to change these systems. We are the system. And so when we create a new operating system, I'm a technology firm, right? I worked at IBM, Microsoft, and Disney. You know, Disney is not a Mickey Mouse organization. Disney is all about technology. Work that I did, right? It's about data technology. So when you think about it, our brains are the most powerful supercomputer ever. So when you think about reprogramming your brain, it's a new operating system. What part of what positive intelligence and the things that I bring together as a part of this, it sets a new foundation, a new operating system where you decide differently. You decide, I'm going to identify my saboteurs, I'm going to see them, I'm going to intercept them, I'm going to decide, I'm going to pause, I'm going to focus on the power of self-command. This little situation right here, which would have stressed me out, I'm going to breathe it out. I'm going to realize that this too will work out for my good. The reason I use the language that they do, because it is scientific and spiritual. So to say every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity, that means we get to decide. Our thoughts become things. I decide that this is going to work out for my good. And guess what? It always does. Because that's all I see. That's all I choose to see is the good side. Could I go down a path of shenanigans? Oh my goodness, that's what I am. But I choose to believe. You ever bought like a car, a blue car, a blue Honda, whatever it is, and now all you see are blue Hondas? Because that's what you see. You never saw it before, they were always there. You choose to see what you want to see. Our brains will filter in and filter out what we choose. So you've already decided, I choose to believe that everything will work out for my good. I only want to see the good. I only want to see how you're going to support me and how I'm going to support you. I only want to see how this is going to work out for my good because that's all I believe it is. The Secret. You guys remember the book The Secret? Mm-hmm. Secret came out years and years ago. But there was this whole energy around it because it's a beginning. The secret is there ain't no secret. The secret is there ain't no secret. Right?
Amen.
What is it? There ain't no secret. We already know. We are what we believe. You know, a man who believes that he can do a thing and a man who believes he can't, they're both right. If you believe you can't do a thing, you absolutely cannot. If you, man, believe that you can, you absolutely will. The universe will conspire to create that with you. That's how you tap into your genius. It's divine genius, but it's also cosmic, it's metaphysical, right? Like that's how we're designed. It's automatic. I mean, there's more research on these 4 topics. I mentioned neuroscience, the science of the brain, positive psychology, cognitive behavioral psychology, how we affect others, that's very important too. And then performance science, like athletes, musicians, right? You see how they talk about athletes who practice basketball, right, live in a gym with actual balls going into the hoop, and those who imagine practicing, right? And those who do nothing and just go to do whatever. The 2 that were in the gym and the ones that imagine have the same improvement in the results. The brain doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference. Like you don't know the, so when you decide, hey, I've lost 35 pounds. And it's because I decided my body is a divine temple, right? And I'm going to choose differently, right? I'm going to enjoy vegetables. I'm going to drink water in such a way. I don't even sip anymore. Like when I drink water, when the cup hits my mouth, this is for anybody who's trying to get healthier. Stay with me here. Breathe it out. I could keep drinking, but the point is, when this cup hits my mouth, I go all in. It's not a sip. It is because my body loves. I've decided my new belief is that my body loves water. I am loving myself when I drink water, the hydration, right? I'm loving myself through simple things like this. I used to think I'm too busy. I gotta keep moving. Too busy to what? Love upon this divine temple. Never. No, he put me here on a mission. We gotta do the work, right? So it's these little choices that matter. When I eat now and I choose something, I'm hearing the textures, the warmth. If it's cold water, I feel the cold. If it's something hot, I feel the hot. Like I'm in the moment. They talk about mindfulness. People don't understand how you apply. This is how you come into tap into your genius. When you wake up in the morning, you give yourself that genius creation time. We call it they call them PQ breaks. I call them a PQ power prayer, right? Because I kind of brought in the science with the spiritual. I want to tap into my spiritual. This is not required. All you need to do is really just know that it's scientific. Like all the research, all the universities, Harvard, every university in every country, state and country have done work around these topics. So it's been quadruply proven 1,000 times over. So it is scientific, but it's also spiritual. The language around every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity because there's actions and steps that we can take. It's also spiritual. Everything is going to work out for my good. Those who, right? You don't have to believe, but if you do, that's just another superpower. Just an extra bonus. Oh, right? Cosmically, the universe is going to create a space that you're going to filter out. You're going to find the solutions because you believe solutions are for me. If somebody told you that you're not worth it, you're going to be just like that. Blah, 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 negative energy, and you believe that, you can manifest that too. So this is how you tap into your genius. This is how you live powerfully. This is how you create the life of your dream. You decide. You decide. You decide. Decisions determine your destiny. You don't just decide in the moment when you get on the scale and you're like, ooh, is that really me? That did happen. But you decide when the buffet is out and there's 17 donuts and you're like, is that really nutritional? Is that really gonna fuel my body? Probably not the way I want. Can I have a donut? Absolutely. Did I have a apple fritter thing earlier? I did. Had some bites. It was delicious. Wasn't great. I let it go. Just saying. I'm just saying, like we're human. Did I condemn myself? Oh my God, you better no, it's not that deep. Right? No judgment. So when we think about how we tap into our genius, it is so amazing that each of us, no matter who you are, where you are, that you actually have the control. Minimize those saboteurs, minimize the patterns, the things that you know you're going down a path. Just stop. Just pause. That's the new operating system. I don't do that anymore. Think about how much time we waste with ridiculous thoughts that aren't true. What's your beliefs? So when you work with a coach, they help you do this work around beliefs. And beliefs are like the winds, right? Like when you look outside, you can't see the winds, but you know it's there because you see the trees blowing, you see a flag, right blowing. Beliefs, you can't actually see them, but the patterns exist in all. You know it's there. It's the patterns. It's what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing or not doing? What results are showing up in your life? It's because of these beliefs that are underground, by the way. This is the truth. These are roots. These are the things above ground. Beliefs are below the ground. That's when people say you gotta dig deep. That's how you go deep. That's how you tap into your genius. You're not doing temporary solutions. I'm not about temporary. I'm a transformational coach. That means you're transforming at a DNA level. You're going from the caterpillar, that is actually beautiful slides, which we're not seeing right now. But here, you go. You can imagine the slides. So there you go, right? So you basically you're this, you're in metamorphosis. You're that caterpillar that used to be on the branch. Imagine this caterpillar when he becomes the butterfly. You think he remembers scooching along on a branch, or is the world his oyster? Is he living large? Hello? It's living in his genius. That's you. You won't remember what it was like to feel the things that you feel. You won't remember it. You won't remember because you will do the work on the beliefs and then keep going deeper. And because beliefs have baby beliefs, by the way, right? I believe this and I believe that thing. And why is that? Why do you believe that? When you get to the root of the problem, but even just starting the work changes these things, right? So the transformation happens. You remember how I started this by saying being in, that is the win? Deciding that I want to live powerfully, deciding that I am genius, deciding that every situation can be turned into a what? You remember what I said? Opportunity. Gifted an opportunity. There you go. There you go. Every situation can be turned into a what?
Gift, sure enough.
Can we say it loud again so they understand? Every situation can be turned into a
gift or an opportunity.
No, if you believe it, you can manifest. You can create it. That's living powerfully. What are your thoughts about what I've said? And be honest.
No, actually, so I could just, how my mom the game plan. You have to set up a game. And one thing you have to acknowledge is that you may be showing up yourself, but you're still showing up, you're showing up differently in the same environment. And when I mean environment, like you can't control your family, sometimes you can't change your friends, and you've had these people in your life during your hard times, and then you're going into your good times. You have to understand, like, you're growing, and just as much as you're asking for empathy, you have to give yourself grace and then grace to understand, like, they're not catching you with your adjustments. And it's okay. And it's okay.
She said that.
Because you can't be like, I am doing something different. And I think this is where we have to start separating what we see on TV and how Lifetime, everything's doing up. Everybody's like, oh, you're going to do it wrong. I go, no, that's not what
that's not what's gonna happen.
Like people
Reality check.
Like people like marriages really dissolve because they forget that your partner evolves. And you're like, why are you not the same? Why are you not the same? And it's like, so you have to, I think that's also where I am at. A lot of things that I want to change for myself actually is me no longer being the go-to person to just not being a better. And I'm not being the better, but I'm always a better. And I have no problem.
These are choices too.
Yeah, they are very much.
And you know what we would do? We would do this work together.
Yeah.
Because I actually am working on that track coach as well. And so when I think about you're always available, like there was a grant that came out for therapy grant. I helped people for hours with their grant in, and I waited till the day. Almost like I wasn't working my own time. Unacceptable.
And that is like a failure in itself.
And I did, for me, it didn't feel like a failure. It felt like, why are you more excited about helping other people than helping yourself? Like, when I was younger, my brother used to bully me, like, relentlessly. Even though I'm the most confident person that I know, I also had a little bit of that still inside where he told me I was deficient, right? Growing up in the neighborhood when you're dark and light is the preferred color, growing up in the hood, he used to brutalize me, like say things, and I was like, I'm gorgeous, like I ain't know, right? Oh, he's just joking, right? I didn't know he knew that I didn't. I had a different father than the other 4 kids. Like they were born in one state, my mom moved to Florida, and I was born 2 years later in Florida. That was his confirmation. Oh, she's not going back to dad, clearly. So I was like, he'd say I was an easy target, right? I'm not going back. Officially, I guess we're not going back because this little one opted up. We're not going back. She's a problem, but you know what I mean? Like, so as a human being, even though I learned about, okay, I help people, I was very helpful. I've helped thousands of people. Now, the little work that I'm doing is making sure that I'm pointing to myself, right? And I think we all have to do that so much more. And to go to your point, when you talked about other people, let me just share this. So, did you see what was on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Chris Rock. So this is Chris Rock when he was slapped by Will Smith, right? That was like a situation where you're like, oh my God, people around me are crazy. But if you watch that clip, the 2 minutes around him making the joke and Will Smith going back to his seat, what happened then? When I mentioned the breathing, you can see Chris Rock. He took them 3 long breaths, and when he took the first breath, he was like, wow, I just got slapped out. But Will Smith, you see him in here, his chest rising some fun. He said something about this is the most amazing moment in television history. See him take another breath. You see it. He says, and then Will says something else, and he's like, cool, dude. Right? You see him take a breath. And he says, you know what? We are here to give an award for the best documentary. Moving on. This is shenanigans. I'm choosing in the moment. So if you have those moments where other people are going to try to take you down, take you off your joy, they're going to try to tell you something that you know is not true about yourself. They're going to take you down the path of those saboteurs. They're going to make you think, hey, look into this. It is all bad. Because it's been bad, it's going to be bad. Right? And you're going to have to choose. So you start your day breathing and raises your threshold. Right? Throughout the day, you keep that up and you keep doing it so that when people come, and never like you, or maybe if I think about it going up, if you're fueling yourself, right, and you're fueling yourself, this becomes a bubble, right? If you're pouring into yourself, you're building a protective shield that says no matter what happens to me, it's gonna bounce up. It's like Teflon. Thank you, but no thank you. I choose not to believe that today, right? So if you're pouring into yourself, then you're pouring into that Teflon. You're breathing in the moment. That's fueling that Teflon, right? It's clear I see you, but I'm not affected by you. Not like I used to, and I may be. It may make my heart rush a little bit more. I have to take some breaths. But it's gonna be all right because every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. It's just another way. Remember that third point, you now have tools. I just gave you easy tools, the breathing, the pausing, the new perspective, the choosing, seeing the perspective and saying, no, these are all, I'm just giving you your belt out of my head. These are things I know, proven to work, guaranteed to work, guaranteed to create a space for you to be able to tap into your genes, guaranteed to work, all scientifically proven. Like culturally relevant, because what we know to be true about ourselves is people around you are going to be potentially still continue to be critical. And maybe choices that you have to make that say, you know, I'm not doing that anymore, I'm choosing otherwise. How much time do we have?
You have 5 minutes.
I have 5 minutes. So this is how we're going to end. We're going to end with a recap of the tools that you've been given. We said the sage perspective is every situation can be turned into a
Or opportunity.
I'm not on the page, ladies. They said it right on the sound. Every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. Say it one more time. Every situation can be turned it was so loud.
Author's table, there's people at it, but there might be